The playoffs begins right here, right now at the Toyohashi City Gym as the San NEOPHOENIX face the Hiroshima Dragonflies. This is game number 1 of the best of 3 series. Good afternoon and welcome to playoff basketball here, B.LEAGUE style. This is the championship as they call it here, more popularly known as the playoffs. The San NEOPHOENIX, one of the top squads here this season, play host to the visiting Dragonflies. All important game number 1. You want to be able to get off to a very good start. It's a very short series. You cannot afford to lose, especially here at home. These fans have been waiting for so long to be able to make it. As you can see there, these are the squads that have made it here to the B.LEAGUE Championship for the 2023-2024 season. Everybody focused here on that bottom right. Hiroshima up against San N. 30 has been in the league for quite a while, and his team never made it to the playoffs, never made it to the championship. And now they've got a chance. The big question here will be the health of his players. Talking about the San NEOPHOENIX and the squad of Coach Atsushi Ono. He has put together a really good squad here, led by Kosuke Kanemaru, one of the stars of Japanese basketball. But he has been in and out of the lineup, together with some of their world imports as well, like Cody Clark. Actually, he was just back for the last 3 weeks of the season. Nice to see him back in action and in good form. That's Ryo Sasaki there on your screens. Sasaki, number 24, was their starting point guard to begin the season. And then he got beset by injuries. There's Coach Atsushi Ono. So Sota Ora, number 5, came in his place, did very well. Sasaki came back, but he has not been the regular Sasaki that you're used to seeing. But still, it's good to have him back on the floor. That's for sure. That's going to deepen their lineup. Squad of San NEOPHOENIX, of course, led by 30 Ravenna. Their Asia Quota import from the Philippines. They also have Yante Matin, their man in the middle, number 1. And number 4, Cody Clark, who we just talked about. They also have David Dudzinski as their 3rd and final world import. On the other side, the Dragonflies, led by Kerry Blackshear Jr., number 8. You saw him in your screens a while ago. They used to have Kai Soto. They lent him over to Yokohama. They also have number 13, Dwayne Evans. Number 15, Tsilidze, Nepawe, and Nick Mayo as well. Those are the imports. And that is when they were able to get their championship. Shogo Asayama a while ago in your screens. Already with his graying hair. He is 42 years old. One of the veterans of this squad. So, as they say, first ladder done, which is to be able to top your division, which is to make it to the playoffs. And right now, you need to start winning and winning again. These are the comparative stats there. You can see pretty good numbers for the San NEOPHOENIX. As you can see there, they're first in the league at 89.5 points per game as compared to the 79.2 of the Dragonflies. But again, as they say, a lot of times all these numbers go out the window when it comes to a playoff series. Coach Kyle Milling, the coach of the Dragonflies, very happy with the squad that he has. and very confident that even if they're on the road, they got a chance here.
優勝した瞬間っていうのは小野さん自身どうでした？
嬉しかったですけど、これが一番大きな山じゃないので、一つの山を越えたなっていう。相手がどこだろうと、僕たちは失うものは何もないので、優勝をどれだけ欲しているのか。それが如実に分かるのはやっぱりボールを必死に追っかける姿だったり、その50-50ボール1個取れないだけで負けるで、そういうことをしっかり理解してコートに立つで、そのリバウンド1本で勝つ可能性だってあるし、一個一個のポゼッションをどれだけ大事にしていけるか。この1年間かけて成長してきた姿を CS にぶつける。戦術よりもエナジー、メンタリティが一番重要。それが一番重要かなと思ってます。
Coach Atsushi Ono has brought a winning tradition here to his squad. We talked about their main players: Ravena, number 0, Yante Mate, number 1, number 4, Cody Clark, number 14, Kosuke Karemwaro, and number 23, David Dudzinski. They have reliables in number 29, Kazuki Hosokawa, Morihisa Yamauchi, number 32, also a new addition to their squad here, and he has added stability to that backcourt. They also have their backup big man, Atsui Ota, who at 39 years old has actually served the Japanese national squad for quite a while. Not there anymore because he's up there in age, but he's still 6'9". So definitely, they can use his experience, they can use his height. But everything is going to depend on Sota Ora, the starter here today. Here's Coach Kyle Milling.
お願いします。皆さん、1、2、3、ガチャチャケガチャチャケガチャチャケ。5番、アイゼア・マーフィー。12番、中村拓人。13番、ドゥエイン・エバートン。24番、ニック・メイヨン。30番、山口亮。ヘッドコーチ、カイル・メリング。以上、広島ドローンフレイズスターティングファイブの紹介でした。
So they've announced the starters here for the visiting squad. They're going to have number 5, Isaiah Murphy. They've got number 12. That is Takuto Nakamura. Number 13, that is Dwayne Evans. Number 24, Nick Mayo. And number 30 is Ryo Yamazaki. Now let's enjoy the fanfare as we welcome the San NEOPHOENIX in their very first playoff game.
I guess it's during the times where we're struggling a little bit inside the games, and then you try and see where you can get that energy from, and you just look around, and you see people coming out. You realize that they sacrifice their time to watch you and money as well to support the team. So when you see that, you see the kids, you see yourself as a role model, and just you give that fight, you have that extra, you have the extra motivation to just give it your all, especially during the hard times.
Not only just for us, do the fans matter, but for the opponent, if they have a loud fan base that's screaming against the other team, causing a little mayhem on their side, it helps us, it hurts them. So the fans and boosters and supporters, it's all in a circle. We play, but they support, and so we're doing it all for each other. Moto.
We are one.
Kokoro wo ito suni.
Look at a key player matchup here. As we have number 4, Cody Clark on the left. You see his numbers up against Dwayne Evans, number 13 on the right. Similar figures. They're going to cancel each other out. That is, if they're able to come up with what's expected of them here this afternoon. The fans of the San NEOPHOENIX ecstatic because today they're going to experience playoff basketball right here at the Toyohashi City Gym. It's been a long time coming. Here we have the starters for the home squad. There is 30 Ravenna, number 0. They've got number 1, Yante Maten, number 4, Cody Clark, number 5, Sota Ora, and number 14, Kosuke Kanemaru. This is their powerhouse lineup. Coach Ono wants to win 2 straight games. They don't want this to get to Monday. Game 1's today, game 1 tomorrow. A possible game 5 will be Monday evening. Coach Ono says, nope, we're going to win it in 2 straight games. That's the plan. Can they execute? We'll find out. One of the top teams in the league, number 1 in their conference. He's a savior, really, talking about Coach Ono. We got the 3 referees. We got referee Kato, referee Kubo, and referee Ozawa handling proceedings for the very first playoff game held here at the Toyohashi City Gym. Starters once again for both these squads: Ravenna, Maten, Clark, Ora, and Kanemaru. On the other side, the Dragonflies parading Murphy, Nakamura, Evans, Mayo, and Yamazaki. And we are ready to go here this Saturday afternoon. Lot is going to be counted on for Isaiah Murphy, number 5 for the Dragonflies. He's very young, but very athletic, and a whole lot of promise. They need to be flying around, getting rebounds, blocking shots, and playing tough D. Let's look here at Nakamura. He's going to have a good matchup against Ora. And we're set. The playoffs are upon us. First possession to the Dragonflies. It is Ora up against Nakamura. They go to Mayo. Yante Maten going out high. This is the playoff atmosphere. Floater from Nakamura, that'll rim out. First offensive thrust for the boys in red. They look for Ravenna. 30. Gets it up high. They go inside to Yante Maten. Maten will convert. First 2 points, he gets fouled. Yante Maten has also been in and out of the lineup because of injury. But when they have a full squad, it's a potent one. First personal foul going to be called there on Nick Mayo. It's pretty good defense, but in the end, just better offense. First personal foul going to be called on Nick Mayo. First team foul on Hiroshima. Maten looking to complete a 3-point play to start things off on a good note for the home squad. He converts. It's 3-0. A little bit of backcourt pressure there. Nakamura in the lane, tosses it up high. One and done. Ora pushing. Pushing still. And he loses it, they say. First turnover for the NEOPHOENIX. Actually a good call. There was a little bit of body contact, but it's the playoffs. It's a let-go situation. Nakamura, inside incursion once again. Will kick it out. Mayo for 2. That rims out. We're going to ask Cody Clark to create the pass a little bit in front of Maten. Another turnover. To the wing. Extra pass. Open 3. Bang. We're tied at 3. Those are the open shots they need to make. And Yamazaki up to the task that time. Clark once again to the wing. Ora will launch. Good line. A little bit too strong though. This time one and done for the NEOPHOENIX. Evans to the rim. It's now a 2-point lead here for Dwayne Evans and company at 5-3. Won't challenge. Goes back up to Ora. Nice swing. Cody Clark for 3. Yes! First basket for Cody Clark. Cody Clark is actually a 3-level scorer. That time from a deep corner 3. Gives his squad the 1-point lead once again. Evans. That's too easy. When he puts his head down, almost impossible to stop. Clark will come up short. Evans once again. You can't allow him to pick up a head of steam. That layup was gonna drop. 1-point lead enjoyed by the visitors at 7-6. Ora will take a jumper. That's short. Maten had it for the time being. That's going to be a foul there on Sota. His first. The first on the San NEOPHOENIX. Ora's a real tough defender. Watch this here. Stopping the play. Ora will be replaced. Quickly in. Sasaki. Also Hosokawa in. Hosokawa, the usual starter, together with Kanemaru. Kanemaru has not been effective as of late. He also has been in and out of the lineup because of injuries. Hosokawa has been a constant all throughout this season. Flip shot, won't drop. And a foul is going to be called on 30. That'll be his first. Second team foul for the NEOPHOENIX.
フェニックス0番ザ・オナが個人ファウル1つ目、チームファウル2つ目です。
30 doesn't like the call because he actually had the inside track. Chance of defense. Open three. Well, you can't leave Yamasaki that wide open. Phoenix didn't pay the price. Hosokawa hits it off the side of the board. This must be first game jitters for sure for 30 and for some of the locals who have not been in the situation yet. 4 minutes gone. Evans once again attacks and hits. It's now 11-6. Sasaki's quick, using his speed that time.
9番山崎個人ファウル1つ目、チームファウル2つ目です。選手の答えです。8番ケリー・ブラッシアオ・ジュニア入ります。シュートセンターファンサーの佐々木隆太のフリースローツーショットが出られます。
That miss is not going to help the cause of Sanen. Okay to miss some of your free throws early. Can't miss them late. That's going to be short. 2 misses there from Sasaki. And the lead still at 5. Well, foul's going to be called there. Stopping the action is now going to be the third team foul of the NEOPHOENIX. That foul will be on Sasaki. Holding on a little bit too long. His first personal. Nakamura again. Launches for 2. No. Offensive rebound here for the visiting squad. Evans will attack. 30, a little bit wary. He's got a personal foul already. And Evans just shrugs him off. It's now 13-6. That will help their cause. Hosokawa with his first 3. He's a dead shot from there. That'll cut the lead down to 4. Evans. Realize the shot clock's winding down. Nice tap there to keep it alive and give them another possession. Posting up inside, Evans, a little bit too strong that time. Off and running, Sasaki. Trying to get into the early offense. Just down by 4. Getting into the lane, puts it up. Basket on 1 opportunity here for the San NEOPHOENIX. That cuts the lead down to 2. Could be 1. Sasaki missed his 2 free throws a while ago. Look at that speed. And a nice touch off the glass to finish. David Dudzinski checking in for the first time for Sanen. Got the inside track there, but Sasaki made a free throw. Quickly down court, kissing it off the glass. Wow. Nakamura. Excellent move. Matten will give it up. Reposts. Matten slight nudge. And a foul will be called there on the big man. That is Tsilidze Nepawe. Ooh, they're gonna say Dwayne Evans. Actually, Evans and Nepawe were there, but there seemed to be a little bit more contact coming from Nepawe. That works out well for Sanin. Matters on the line, and at the same time, Evans is actually a more critical player than Nepawe. 3:35 still to be played, and the visitors already in the penalty. Two free throws will cut the deficit to just one. Yante Matten now with 5 points in the contest. Almost a backing violation. It is a backing violation. Gary Blackshear. That's a mortal sin. You cannot stop right there past the half-court line, because that half-court line becomes a third defender. So Blackshear with a turnover. Chance for Sanin to take the lead once again. Two-man game. Sasaki tries to go inside. That's too tight. Dudzinski was actually wide open, close to the top of the key. Dudzinski from the logo. No. Still a 1-point lead enjoyed by Hiroshima. Straight line drive. Blackshear falls to the ground. Yamauchi. Open three. That's usually automatic for Sasaki. I'm surprised he didn't launch once again. Terry Blackshear is going to pick up a personal, which means free throws. Smart move that time once again for Sasaki. Two minutes 45 to be played here in quarter number one. Nick Mayo comes right back in. He was a starter for the Dragonflies. Coming in for the very first time, Seiya Funyu. He's listed as a small forward, but always plays point guard. And he's very tall for a point guard. He's 6'3". Facilitates well, and also can be a lethal scorer if called upon. Sasaki makes both. It's a 1-point lead now for Sanin. Not too much movement here from the boys in white. Nick Mayo. Fall away shot not going to work. Dudzinski clears. Sasaki once again pushing. Yamauchi gets it back. DP foul going to be called there to stopping the action. And that foul will also put Sanin in the penalty. That will be their fourth team foul. Sasaki will pick up a personal.
フェニックステーションです。5番大野颯太、10番ダーンフォンス入ります。そして10番ダービーラムが入ります。
It's going to be a long final 2 minutes of the opening period. Still a lot of time in the shot clock. They set up carry, a little bit too strong. Personal foul going to be called on Nepawe. That's his first. Dudzinski. Smart move, just making sure that there was a little bit of contact on the lineup for 2 shots. Takes care of the first. Back up to a 2-point lead for the NEOPHOENIX. Their biggest lead was at 3. That was at 3-0. .30 back in. Together with Cody Clark. They were starters. You can see the substitution pattern of Coach Ono is really quick. He wants his players on the floor to be really fresh as well. Ono calling out the play. They go to the wing. Blackshear. Extra pass. Defense reacting very quickly. Up and under move? No. But Nepawe's there for the putback. Saved it. That would have been a turnover. 30. Goes to the left hand. It drops. 30 Novena. First 2 points for him here in the playoffs. He has played so well this season. Blackshear to the wing. Funyu. It's going to be a 3-second violation, I believe. No. A foul will be called. .20-17 is our tally. Under a minute to be played, 41.1 seconds to be exact. Here in the opening quarter. Blackshear on the line for 2. Trying to make as much noise as they possibly can. And they feel they helped out there off that miss from Blackshear. Kosuke Kanemaru needs to be able to get in rhythm here. He's a lethal scorer. They set him up. Kanemaru for 3. Yes! That's exactly what we said. When he's on target, they're going to be difficult to stop. 23-18. Final seconds. Funyu. Blackshear. Inside. Ooh, that's going to be a 3-point play. That foul might not be on 30. It might be on Kanemaru. Kanemaru actually reached in. Watch this here. Kanemaru with the reach in. But did they give it to 30? If they do, that's going to be number 2. It is on 30. That's a big call. And a big free throw here. The heave from half court actually past half court, will come up short.
23対21、サンネオフェニックスがリードしております。
First quarter done here at the Toyohashi City Gym. And it's a 2-point lead enjoyed by the NEOPHOENIX.
B リーグチャンピオンシップ2023-24サンネオフェニックス特別協賛各社をご紹介します。本日のゲームパートナーはマルキングループ特別協賛社 OST 株式会社宮川工機株式会社株式会社ヤマト茅山工業株式会社バスデイ株式会社トビン工業株式会社株式会社アツミモーターズ株式会社サウンドシップ株式会社サーナーコーポレーション株式会社モロマサキコーポレーション株式会社イバダ医療法人声優会株式会社オルコム株式会社トヨコン株式会社アコードエンジニアリング豊川信用金庫株式会社マルキン商会医療法人信安会豊橋信用金庫蒲郡信用金庫公認浜井自動車学校その他にも多くのパートナーの皆様にご支援いただき皆様いつもありがとうございます。さあ、フェニックス第2クォーターオフェンスカウントです。会場の皆さんのその声でいこう。
Quick basket to start things off here, Dudzinski. That's what they need. Scoring from everybody. 4-point lead for the NEOPHOENIX. 30 in foul trouble. Kanemaru's going to pick up a personal foul there.
14番からの個人ファウル2つ目、チームファウル1つ目です。
That's his first team foul for the NEOPHOENIX. Early free throws here for the Dragonflies. And Seiya-Funyu. Second on the way. Both money. 25-23 is our tally. So he's still in the ball game. He's got to be careful though. He cannot pick up a third or else he's on the bench through the second half. They get it to 30. Up high. Ora for three. Ora has not been on target. 30's going to pick this one up though. Try to challenge, kicks it out, the pass, a little bit too sharp that time. Nice finish. Seiya-Funyu now with 4 points. And we're tied at 25. See, they try to look for Cody Clark. They need his offense. There's Clark. Good hands from Nepawe. Now they turn over here for the NEOPHOENIX. The offense has really stalled. Nepawe will give it up. Back cheer converts. It's a 2-point lead here. And very quickly, Coach Ono says, I need to change things up. Calls a quick timeout. We'll be back for more playoff action in a bit. That's what you want to see. Coming off a timeout, 30 Ravenna scores. Like I said, they down to 2. Ravenna has been very steady here. His game has grown. Scramble there. Quick shot, not going to work. 30 comes away with it in the open court. He got fouled there. Wants to compose himself just a little bit. Clearly a collision. Watch it here. Helter-skelter basketball. Maybe not the best of shots there, but here's the collision. Funyu came in from the blind side. They're not going to review it though. Ora will go inside. Cody Clark to Matten. Matten tries to create. Can't get that space. Nepawe is not somebody that you can move when he's set up defensively inside. But he's also not an outside shooter, so he's got to curl to the paint. That's clearly a foul there in Ora. Holding on to Nepawe as Nepawe is trying to make his way into the shaded area. Watch it here. The way Ora was holding on. He held on to him there. That was clear. That's a useless foul, really. It's going to be a second personal foul. He's going to have to sit down. You don't need to hold on. It wasn't like it was a breakaway that he was going to get an easy dunk anyhow. 2 team fouls for San En, 1 for the Dragonflies. Kanemaru picks it up. We go to the wing. Kosokawa almost lost it. He gets fouled. Both teams now with 2 team fouls each. Foul there from Funyu as he reached in. Didn't also need to reach in if you look at it because Nick Mayo was there as the last line of defense. He'll pick up his second personal. Now he's going to have to sit as well. Clark. Kicks it back out. Inside, that's a nice pass. Sasaki finds Matten there, moving towards the basket. Sanen up by 2. They'll kick it back out, Blackshear. Nepower was setting up inside. They couldn't find him for the pass. That might be a charge. And it is. Nepower just ran over Sasaki. That you can't do. You can set up. Watch this here. He went into the paint and just bulldozed over Sasaki. Just move to your spot. Second personal foul going to be called also on Silidsi. Isaiah Murphy back in, together with Dwayne Evans. Approaching the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. They look inside. Matten with the advantage, almost lost it, eventually does. Not a good foul there from Matten. He already lost it. Just go back down and play defense. No real advantage there over Nick Mayo. Nick Mayo is very powerful inside, but you can't just come in and try to swipe. That would be his first personal. Not bad on the personal level, but right now you're going to put yourself with 3 team fouls. One more, and your opponent starts shooting free throws. So far, we've seen 2 poor fouls for the NEOPHOENIX. Mayo kicks it back up. Nakamura into the paint. Gets denied. They send it forward. Sidestepping move. Yante Matten. 31-27 is our tally. And a timeout will have to be called now by Coach Kyle Milling. Coach Kyle Milling wanted to take no chances there because in 23 seconds we're going to get to an official timeout, which is actually the first dead ball situation after the 5-minute mark. It's an important game. Coming off the timeout, you want to score. Watch the play after timeout. It works. It's going to cut the lead. Down here. Just 2. Sasaki looking for space. They lob it inside. Ooh, blowing the shot there. Matten trying to chase. First to the floor. Will miss. Extra pass, that's going to work. Turned out to be a perfect timeout for Coach Kyle Milling. Back-to-back baskets. 4-0 run. And we are tied at 31. 4:34 to be played here in the first half.
さあ皆様ザックザックアピールしてブラックサンダーをゲットしましょう。ゲットできた方はですね、2回目はいい方へジャンプしてですね、ブラックサンダーをゲットしてください。以上、留学生カプレです。ザックザックタイムでした。
Just some numbers at this point. We have shooting 8 out of 10 free throws are the San NEOPHOENIX. Only 4 out of 5 are the Dragonflies. So they're not getting to the line as much. In terms of turnovers, just 3 turnovers for the Dragonflies. Already 6 for the squad here of San N. Very tight affair. We're tied at 31. Final push here in the first half. Sasaki. That's going to rim out. Yante Maten with a putback. Maten being very active. And now in double digits with 11 points. On the other side, it's Dwayne Evans with 8. And as we mentioned that, he's trying to add to his tally. And he could here with these free throws. That might be a foul on Yante Maten. That's going to be number 2. And that's why he didn't want to pick up a cheap one earlier. At the same time, because of the cheap foul he picked up earlier, they're now in the penalty. Long 3, no. Budzinski comes away with it. Yamauchi on the floor for the first time. Here in the second. He did play in the first. We'll get it back. Yamauchi's a dead shot. Loses his footing though. And loses the ball altogether. Hosokawa. Tried to finish. Got fouled there by Murphy. He might have been better served giving it off to Yamauchi, but he's got 2 free throws and he's a very good free throw shooter. That one off the foot with a dish there from Hosokawa. That would have been 2 points. First personal foul on Murphy. Lucky roll there for Hosokawa. He's got 4 points. He had a 3 earlier. Ooh, missed free throw there. Already 3 misses for the NEOPHOENIX. Evans trying to create space, will give it up. Then tries to go to the basket and gets his 2. Evans now with 10 points. Sasaki will launch. Good line. That'll drop. Boy, Sasaki's coming up really big here. Well, of 8 points so far. Ora not really able to have his imprint on this match yet. Mayo as well. Mayo is a very solid player, but just hasn't been able to come up with the numbers yet. Budzinski will give it up. Finds Sasaki. They lay it down for Maten. Back to Sasaki. 2-man game. Pass was telegraphed. Another steal. They look inside. That's a breakdown in defense. Another timeout will have to be called here by Coach Kyle Milling. He's not happy on the sidelines. This is now the biggest lead for the NEOPHOENIX at 6. Now chance of defense once again, and why not? They want their squad to increase their lead. Evans, straight line drive. Gets stopped in his tracks. 3 not gonna work. Budzinski can't clear, can't hold on to it. Here's Evans with a brand new 14. Trying to make this one count. They go to the wing. Nakamura. He found himself free all of a sudden. 39-36 is our tally. Under a minute and a half to be played here. Second quarter. Lead pass almost stolen. Cody Clark has been very quiet here. He's been actually neutralized here by Dwayne Evans. And he's supposed to be the more explosive import, especially from the outside. Kick ball, so they said it was going to be a reset of the shot clock. Nakamura really using his length. He's 6 foot flat, but with a 6'2" wingspan. They look inside. Budzinski flips it up. Budzinski has been a very good complementary import. He now has 6 points to go with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Evans says, I don't care. I'm going to go straight to the basket. He's got 12 points in total. That foul is going to be on Cody Clark. .6 seconds remaining in the second. You can see at the top of your screens how many points the players on the floor have scored. Kanemaru, that looked like a forced shot. He wasn't yet in rhythm. 2 for 1 is what they were looking for there. Ravenna back on the floor for the final seconds here. He doesn't want to pick up a third though. Carey will miss. That's saved there by Ora. Going for the final shot here. Long three, just short. Well, they got the shot that they were looking for. They would have wanted to move that ball a little bit more around the perimeter. But a decent first 2 quarters played here by both these teams. And it's Coach Ono and the San NEOPHOENIX up by 3, 41-38 at the halftime break.
私たちマルキングループは暮らしを支える水回りの設備事業を主力に健康をテーマにした飲食事業やハイテク農業、教育事業などを通じて皆様に笑顔を届けられる企業を目指しています。
日本生命 B リーグクォーターファイナル2023-24マルキングループプレゼンツサンネオフェニックスホームゲームサンネオフェニックス対広島ドラゴンフライズゲーム1。本日のハーフタイムショーはまずは我らがファイアンガールによるパフォーマンスをお届けします。ぜひ会場の皆さんもぜひベンチで手拍子してハーフタイムを盛り上げていきましょう。それではファイナルズメンバーを紹介します。マーヤバイスキャプテンルカアユミコトミマユココロワカキャプテンアスカバイスキャプテンカリハルキThank you, Barrio. 皆さんにました大きな拍手を送ってください。さあ続いてはマルキングプレゼンツトップリレーをお届けします。そしてですね、このリレー中は本日のウェルカムアップで演奏していただきました石崎佳代子さんによる、生演奏で、優勝されております。どうぞ皆様、石崎様大きな拍手でお迎えください。さあ、もうプレーはですね、スタートから、それぞれコートエンドまで走っていただきまして、エンドで、交代、早く、ゴール決めた方が勝利となります。こちら、両チームで6名ずつで、選ばれております。どちらが勝つかで、皆様ぜひ応援していただければと思います。さあ、それでは行きましょう。レディーゴー。さあ、第1走者バトンで横一線、いい形で第1走者へのバトンタッチ。そして第2走者、お姉ちゃん頑張って、ちょっと出遅れちゃった感じがありますけどね、まだまだ可能性はありますよ。そして第3走者に交代。さあ、第3走者は、手前のチーム速いですね。さあ、そして第4走者、ここで追いかけてきた、いいぞ、ここで一気に差を詰めてきた。さあ、そして第5走者、さあ、そしてラストアンカー、速いね。さあ、リレーは終わっちゃいましたけどね、このままでちょっとね、演奏もしていきましょう。さあ、リレーもね、終わってしまいましたけど、引き続き西崎さんの演奏をお楽しみください。 ありがとうございました。また西崎さんに大きな拍手をお送りください。
OSG は世界品質の製品を提供し続ける信頼のブランドとしてものづくり産業を地球規模で支えていきます。 OSG Shaping Your Dreams。 私たちが作るのは木造住宅の未来。独創性の高い高性能なプレカットマシンは今を勝ち抜く力となる。匠の技を機械化する会社宮川工機。
やってやる。生産材と消費財、 B2B と B2C、 国内と海外、垣根を越えて丸ごと全部山善。
それトピーなんです。美しい建物を作る建設用鉄鋼素材。これもトピーの仕事の一つです。
あれもアートなのか。
広い車は欲しいけど維持費とかがちょっと心配。そこで厚みに相談だ。厚み車のことなら何でもかんでも厚みも出す。それではここで B リーグパートナーズをご紹介いたします。 B リーグトップパートナーソフトバンク、 B リーグパートナーズ富士通、日本郵便、 G ショック、日本生命、 B リーグサポーティングカンパニーズ朝日新聞、日本経済新聞社、大塚製薬、野村工芸社、 EY ジャパン、ヤフー、エニタイムフィットネス、アーサルデザイン、B リーグサプライヤーズ、モルテン、アダストリア、B リーグエンターテインメントパートナー、ソニーミュージックエンターテインメント、 B リーグコミュニケーションパートナー、ライン、 B リーグスポーツ振興。
The very first playoff game here at the Toyohashi City Gym, as the San NEOPHOENIX are here in the playoffs. Cody Clark hitting that three there. Actually, Cody Clark has had a very quiet afternoon. Evans powered his way to 8 points in that very first period. Falling away there, swishes that one too. He would finish in double figures after 2 quarters. Nice flip there from Sasaki. Sasaki has actually outplayed Sota Ora today. Ora has had a couple of shots, just not fall from 3. But Sasaki, really the starting point guard of his squad, has come up big. Here's Ravenna, switching hands in the air. He would finish with 4 points. He also has 3 boards. Only basket there for Kosuke Kanemaru. He needs to heat up if they want to have any chance here of winning. Poor pass there from 30. And Seiya Funyu with a strong finish. Funyu came off the bench and helped his squad both offensively and defensively. Sasaki, good pass, finds Yante Matten for 2. Defense leading to offense. Easy sidestepping move there from Matten. And then Sasaki hits. He might start out here in the 3rd period. Couple of lackadaisical passes led to some easy baskets. Dragonflies just need to take better care of the basketball, but Nakamura hit 2 threes. Actually, that's a total of 7 points. He added a turnover. Let's take a look at the numbers here. 66% shooting from 2-point distance as compared to just 53% for the Dragonflies. And also much better shooting from 3, 28% as compared to 20%. They also have 5 more free throws. If you look at the assists, I like the assist numbers here. 13 assists for San En, only 6 for the Dragonflies. You can see that they are sharing the basketball a little bit more. 7 to 5, those are the turnovers. here for the Dragonflies. Second half underway here. The playoffs have just begun here in the B-League. Thanks for joining us this Saturday afternoon. Evans trying to work inside. Cody Clark just dropped to the floor. Long rebound. Goes to Ravenna. Not wanting to challenge. He'll kick it back out. Cody Clark from deep. Short. Nakamura, nice spin. Mayo setting up on the outside. He should be in the low block. That wasn't a good pass. And as you can see there, that pass was, actually it wasn't kicked. The pass went straight to the leg. Sometimes referees won't call that. Mayo's not looking for a shot. Here he comes. Sets up Yamazaki, who will miss. Another rebound here for 30. He'll give it up. 30 has really helped out on the boards. Not really scoring that much, but he's the primary defender and one of the world imports. 30 with a handoff. Clark. Gotta make his move. Shot clock winding down, flips it up. It won't drop. Clark tracks it down though. Now he attacks the basket and gets 2 points. Clark looking at the referee, a little bit befuddled. Asking for the contact, there was none given. Watch this play. He attacks. Pretty good defense there from Evans. Good non-call. Lead is now at 5, 43 to 38. It's actually Ota. Ora, check that. Who's starting out? Here's Mayo. That's what he's got to do. He gets denied though inside by Yante Maten. Last line of defense. Maten says, not on my watch. Watch it once again. Get that weak stuff out of here. Almost 2 minutes gone in the third. Shot clock's down to 1. Catch and shoot. Oh, that's a big shot there. Yamazaki just hurled it, and his prayer was answered. That's the lead down to 2. They set up Ravenna. Ravenna will overshoot. Ora with the offensive rebound. Ora once again to the wing. Cody Clark. Now, I think he says, it's time for me to be active. Got 5 points in total. 2 points already here. Trying to take advantage of having Murphy on him. We talked about that in the early part of the coverage, that Murphy has to be tough because he's an import stopper. Second personal foul there on Isaiah. First free throw will drop here for Clark. Second on the way. He'll get the lucky roll. 45-41 is our tally. Yamauchi will come in. He came in for 30 Ravenna. they try to look for Kanemaru once again. Flip inside, not gonna work. That's poor boxing out. 9 points now in the game for Nakamura. Cuts the lead back down to 2. Kusuki just in the corner. Not too much movement. They go inside once again. Basket. Yante Maten has been a real force inside. He's got 15 points. They don't seem to have anyone talking about the Dragonflies that can match up with him. I would have thought Mayo would do a good job defensively. Hurried 3, not gonna work. Maten pushes it forward. To the wing, Kanemaru hits! That's a good sign for the San NEOPHOENIX. He's got his second 3. And a quick timeout needs to be called once again by the Dragonflies as they trail by 7. So that last shot here from Kanemaru, they say, is not a 3. So it's 49-43. Inside incursion there by Evans. He's got 14 points, cutting that lead down to 4. Launch from Ora, not going to drop. 30 back on the floor. Black Shear falling away, that's his specialty. Carry Black Shear now in double digits with 10. And the lead is down to just a single basket. And for Clark to come alive. Together with Kanemaru if that's possible. Clark forced to put that one up. Shot clock was winding down. Not the best of offensive thrust that time. Almost an offensive foul. That's what 30 was asking for. Evans just shrugged him off once again. Evans with 16 points. And we are deadlocked once again at 49.
最後はですね、これでキックオフの再開です。さあ、みんなの声でいこう。
Coach Ono talking to the referee a while ago, asking for an offensive foul, and he was surprised. The referee motioned to him that it looked like it was a flop from 30. Nonetheless, we're tied at 49. Back to the action on the floor. Past the halfway mark of the third. Sasaki back on the floor. Extra pass. Dudzinski will launch and will misfire. Nice rebound by Carey. Little 4-0 blast put together here by the Dragonflies. Could make it a 6-0 blast if they score here. Fourth shot not going to work. Blackshear was there. Well, late foul is going to be called. So they're going to call a foul on Hosokawa. His first team foul here on the NEOPHOENIX. Blackshear flips it up. That'll drop. No, it won't. Looked like it was going to be a good 2 points. Inside, Ravenna for 2. He's got 6 points now in total. Back to a 2-point lead for the San NEOPHOENIX. Ravenna helping out in so many departments. He also has 5 boards. Felt he got the steal there. That'll be his third personal foul though. Now he's got to be really careful. A lot of times you don't want to go for the steal unless it's clear. Not at this stage. You're more valuable being on the floor. You might have to be replaced here. And if Dwayne Evans now is smart, he'll go right at Ravenna. But they switch. Dudzinski. Stilitsin and Powell will check in. Evans won't get that to drop. Nice defense that time by the NEOPHOENIX. Coach Ono will he challenge here? Looks like he will. Not quite sure if you want to use your challenge this early. It was clear. Dudzinski didn't touch it. Should be a quick challenge. All you need is 2 angles. And there you have it. Coach Ono saying, look, we got the possession, but that was such an easy call for you to make. You made me waste my challenge on this. They don't get it past the timeline. And so you wasted your challenge there. You needed to score to make it worth your while, so to speak. Here comes Evans. Will he try to attack? Ooh, he picked up his dribble. Say Funyu in. Funyu gave them quality minutes. Will put up a three here. Overshoots. And off. Dudzinski. That's usually money. He was wide open there. Those are the shots you need to be able to make if you want to make it to the next round. If you want to win the championship, take advantage of every open shot given to you. 2:30 to be played in the third. Oh, Vanna helping out there to get that ball. I guess you're not used to it, but here in the Philippines, that always gets stuck. But again, I knew exactly what he needed to do to get it unstuck. The rest of the crew here were dumbfounded. Few tricks of the trade here from 30. Pretty good release pass. Almost a turnover. Open three. Bang! And it's now a 1 point advantage off that three from Yamazaki. He's got 3 threes already in the contest. Past the 2-minute mark of the third. Clark sends it over to Ravenna. Ravenna gets denied. That should have been a shot there from Cody Clark already. He was wide open. Chance of defense here at the Toyohashi City Gym. Evans puts up a long two and hits. The biggest lead for Hiroshima today was at 7. That was a 13-6. Getting it right back there, Sasaki. We're deadlocked at 54. Sasaki with 11 points. 6th tie of the ball game. Good defense there. Evans getting denied. Are they gonna call an unsportsmanlike foul here? Ravenna will push it up quickly. Doesn't look like they're gonna review this one. Only the second personal foul on Yamazaki, a very good foul. That saved an easy 2 points. Will they want to review this one? Because that prevented an easy layup. And they will. Was there contact to the face? That was a hit to the face. That might be an unsportsmanlike foul. Again, it all depends on how the referees see it. Waiting for the call here. Waiting for the official whistle and motion from the referees. Well, it doesn't look like the assistant coach agrees for Hiroshima. It's an unsportsmanlike foul. That's a big call. 2 free throws plus ball possession now here for the Sana NEOPHOENIX. Initially, I thought it was a good foul. But the call has been reversed. Actually, the call has been upgraded, to be more specific. Clark with 2 free throws takes care of the first. Sana now up by 1, could be 2. And they've got possession here at 56-54. A minute and 2 seconds remaining in the third. Wow, what a drastic turn of events. And as we expected, Cody Clark starting to take over. He's got 12 points. And that 3-point shot there will give a 5-point lead to the home squad. Now at 59-54. Big foul from Yamazaki. Funyo will give it up to his import. Blackshear for 3. That's short. That's a good rebound from Dudzinski. Good box out first. Difference of about 3 seconds from the game clock and the shot clock. Hiroshima has 2 fouls to give if they want to use it. Long shot, not going to drop. Forced 3 there. Actually, Sasaki could have reset. There was more than enough time, but we've got the 4th period right around the corner. And the Sana NEOPHOENIX looking good. Up 59-54 over the visiting Hiroshima Dragonflies. Final 10 minutes of game number 1. Will it go to the Sana NEOPHOENIX or will it go to the visitors, the Hiroshima Dragonflies? This is the beginning of our very short best of 3. First round of the playoffs. First round of the B.LEAGUE Championship. Kanemaru, he should have launched. That's why he's there. He can't be gun shy at this stage. Dudzinski was going for the rebound. Turnover here. Start things off for Sanen. That is turnover number 9. Nepawe is able to get that. Funyu. They go inside. Evans against Hosokawa. Forces it up. He'll be fouled there. Kazuki will pick up foul number 2. Hosokawa trying to hold his ground. Clearly a foul there. The primary defender on Evans, supposed to be 30. The 30 with 3 personal fouls. He's on the bench. Expecting to be in at about the 8 or maybe 7.5 minute mark. There is a section here of fans from the Dragonflies trying to be as noisy as they possibly can, despite the fact that they're a minority. And they get Kanemaru on court. He might have to put this one up. Sasaki running start. Will misfire. That's why you want to attack a little earlier, just in case. Dudzinski actually got the offensive rebound. He would have had a chance to put it back down and go up with a power move. At the controls, Nakamura. Forcing the action inside. Evans almost got the steal there. It's Blackshear and Evans, the imports. Nepal is there as well. Thirty back in, together with Sotaora. Funyu, couple of fakes. Goes to the wing. Hurried 3, not gonna work. Nepawi with defensive rebound. Saki's trying to stay as close as he can. Evans, power move, gets denied. Chilidze with a slam. Only 2 points here for Chilidze Nepawi, but he's doing all the intangibles. Clark from the outside hits that 3. Time for Cody Clark to come alive. He's got 15 points. He's supposed to be the most explosive import among the 3. Nice basket for Seiya Funyu. Funyu with 6 markers. Another 3, why not? No. Short that time. That was a heat check. Now a chance for the Dragonflies to tie things up or take the lead with a 3. An offensive foul is going to be called there. Ora is really one of the peskier defenders you can find. Watch it here. Blackshear just threw him off his shoulder. Blackshear trying to state his case, but he led to the bench. The starting point guard, Nakamura, will check in together with the starting 2 guard in Ryo Yamazaki. That's him on your screens. It's winning time for both these squads. Who can come up with the big plays? here in the end game. 30. Hands it off to Ora. They'll try to go inside. Blackshear with a foul. Yante Matin's in there. Nice battle there. Kerry not happy with the call. He was all over Yante Matin. That's number 3. Get it in bounds. Three on the way. That was straight and true. First basket for Sota Ora. What a time for him to find his range. Leads back up to 5. Evans has been on target all throughout here. Foul's going to be called. That might have been a whistle before the attack. Nope, they're going to say 2 free throws here for Evans. Coach Kyle Milling trying to double check what the call is about. There's going to be a challenge here. And this time it's head coach Kyle Milling. Not quite clear on what the challenge is about, because it was already called 2 free throws. I'm not exactly sure exactly what the coaching staff wants here. Is that the play that they're looking at? Yes, it is. Matin and Dwayne Evans. That was the previous play. Well, the fans are clapping. Coach Kyle Milling with a frown. So obviously the call didn't go his way. So Coach Kyle Milling was looking for an unsportsmanlike foul, which would have given Evans 2 free throws, and that would have given them possession. So just 2 free throws here for Dwayne. He'll make both. Dwayne Evans now with 22 points. Let's see when they send Ravenna to pick him up. 30 with 3 fouls. Can't afford to pick up a 4th this early. Nice look inside. Quick foul will be called on Kerry Blackshear. Or actually Nakamura, take your pick. Just about 6:30 remaining here. Blackshear trying to stay in step. Gets that steal off Matin. Last second block. Matin was waiting for that. Made up for his earlier blunder. 30 falls to the ground. 30 with a steal, and then a late call. That's going to be number 4 on Ravenna. Ravenna picks up his 4th. He's going to be in the freezer for the next 4 minutes of game time, at least. He knew he committed a mistake there. Looking to tie things up. We're tied at 65. He's deadly. Yamasaki is. It's our 7th deadlock of the contest. Cody Clark flips it up. He was very confident about even if he missed that shot, he knew Yante Matin was inside for the O board. Try to kiss it off the glass. He did have the angle though. A little bit too strong. 5:34 still to be played. Who will be steadier down the stretch? We go inside to Matin. He'll be called for 3 seconds. These are the turnovers you cannot afford, especially when it comes to winning time. 13 turnovers now for the NEOPHOENIX. Only 6 for the Dragonflies. Swarming defense, they get the steal. Here comes the NEOPHOENIX. It's 5-on-4. That's going to stop the play. Foul's going to be called down low. That save could have been a possible 3. Sasaki was wide open here. That's foul number 4 on Carey. Exactly 5 minutes remaining here. We all need this break as we have this official timeout. Exactly 5 minutes remaining here in game number 1. Sotoora will check back in place of Sasaki. Oh no, Sasaki's in there as well. Yante Matin puts it up and gets it through. 67-65. It's winning time. Matin now with 17 markers. Evans, this time against Hosokawa because 30's got 4 personal fouls. Long 3, not gonna work. Sasaki tracks that one down. Gets into the heart of the defense, puts it up. Will misfire though. Duty foul going to be called here on Hosokawa. And that will put the NEOPHOENIX also in the penalty. Sasaki couldn't believe he missed that shot. Evans will be fouled there. So both teams now in the bonus. And they're going to review this one again. If they deem this to be an unsportsmanlike foul, watch it here. What was the foul called? You have to be trying to go for the ball. And it didn't look like Hosokawa was going for the ball, but it was really a body check more than anything else. It's the playoffs. That should be deemed a regular foul. But again, it depends on the interpretation of the referees. It's a 2-point lead enjoyed here by the NEOPHOENIX. A lot of time still remaining in this one. 4 minutes 27. This could be a big call if it's called and deemed unsportsmanlike. So both referees confer. They'll inform the table first, and then we'll see just a regular foul, as expected. Third personal foul going to be called on Hosokawa. And there is confirmation that will be the 4th team foul of the NEOPHOENIX. Might be a free throw shooting contest to end game number 1. Evans gets to his spot. He will misfire though. Nepawe gets denied. Silitsi Nepawe, when he's inside, expect him to get a lot of offensive rebounds. You've got to block him out. But good recovery that time by the NEOPHOENIX. There's the block from Dudzinski. Nick Mayo joining the contest. 3 on the way, short. Matten touched that last. We're going to stay here in this end. Well, Nepawe getting his squad another offensive possession. To the corner. The flip not going to drop. Matten picks up the board, and here come the NEOPHOENIX. A lot of movement. Ora will go to the corner. Hosokawa, no. That's his specialty though. They go inside. Mayo with the advantage here against Hosokawa. They send a quick double. Open 3. No. Mayo with the offensive rebound. Will he get the end one? Looked like the foul was when he got the offensive rebound. They're going to count it, they say. Watch it here. What was the foul? The foul was there. He gathered, and so they're going to count the basket. We are tied at 67. 3 minutes, 34 seconds still to be played here. Nick Mayo has not helped out his squad offensively, but he's trying to do the intangibles. That was actually the very first basket of Nick Mayo. He now has 3 points to go with 3 rebounds, and it's a 1-point lead. That's a scary pass. Here comes Cody Clark. Let's see if he tries to take over. He should. He's throwing these poor passes left and right. They dodged the bullet there. What was that for? It was too high. Trying to find Kanemaru. Time for Kanemaru and for Cody Clark. They get it into Cody. Well, they'll get it into their point guard first. Yate Matin comes out. Just showing a lot of movement. 3! Kanemaru off the glass. Did he call bank? It doesn't matter. The bank's open on the weekend for Kosuke Kanemaru. It's a 2-point lead for the NEOPHOENIX. Under 3 minutes to be played. 30. Sent back in. This is the finishing unit here for Coach Ono. Shot clock down to 1. They don't realize it. That's going to be a shot clock violation. That 3 will not count from Yamazaki. As we enter the final 3 minutes, it's time for the Stars to come out and shine. Matin will bring it down. Gets it to Ora. Kanemaru once again will bring it closer. Straight line 2, not gonna work. Get another possession though. Clark. What is Clark doing? That's the second time he gets picked off. Mayo. They give it up. They should go to Nick Mayo. There's a mismatch there against 30 Ravenna. But the Dragonflies don't seem to realize it. Hurried 3. Boy, much quicker to the ball are the boys in white. Now, this is the mismatch that they want to use. Take advantage of, and that's going to be the final foul of 30. Or are they going to give it to Ora? Well, the foul will be called on Ora. So that's 4 on Sota, 4 on 30. The thing is, that's 2 free throws for Nick Mayo. Under 2 minutes to be played. We're in the twilight zone. The final 2 minutes. Mayo taking his time there. Prayers all around here from the fans of the San NEOPHOENIX here at the Toyohashi City Gym. Mayo's gonna miss the first. To the dismay of that section of Dragonflies fans. Today has really not been the day of Nick. They need his free throw though. Gets a second one to drop. 4 points in the contest. A 1-point lead for the NEOPHOENIX. Matin will give it to Ora. They'll send it over to Matin. Trying to find Kanemaru. Clark. Back to Ora. Sota Ora. Not a good pass. Another turnover here for the NEOPHOENIX. And a poor foul by Ora. He's out. It's shower time for Sota. You go back down in defense. You don't stop the ball up high. You're now going to give away 2 free throws. Sota Ora is 25 years old. Yes, he's a little young. But again, those are mistakes you cannot commit at this stage. Not at the highest level. Not in the playoffs. And now 2 more free throws for Nick Mayo. And expecting to make these 2. He makes the first. Mayo says, I'm not missing from here on in. That small section of Hiroshima fans praying. They get 2. Mayo's come up big here. the fourth. He's got only 6 points here in the final period. That's another poor pass. That's a great defensive stop, but they still have the basketball. Evans. Won't attack. They've got a lot of time still in their shot clock. Now Evans with the attack. Kicks it out. Open three. Bang! Well, if you don't take care of the basketball, you will pay the price. It's now a 4-point advantage for the Hiroshima Dragonflies off numerous turnovers from the San NEOPHOENIX. A minute and a second remaining. Exactly 61 seconds here in game number 1. A must-score situation here for the NEOPHOENIX. 30 with the inbound. Another turnover. This time from 30. That's 3 turnovers off 3 poor passes. Evans will bring it down against 30, who's got 4 personal fouls. 30 with a steal. Trying to finish. He can't. That is when you wait for your teammates. Couple of ill-advised decisions by a very young San NEOPHOENIX squad. And they might just pay the price here with a loss in game number 1. Sasaki will pick up his 3rd personal foul. 2 more free throws here for Nick Mayo. That rattles out. It's still a 2-possession ball game though. More than enough time. May will get at the drop. A quick timeout will be called here by Coach Ono.
ブロックコントはフェニックスポーツ大会です。
.5 seconds remaining. 5-point lead enjoyed by the visiting Hiroshima Dragonflies. Sanen with possession. They get it inside to Kanemaru. They gotta look for Cody Clark. Clark puts up a hurried three, gets denied. Mayo will hold on to this one. That's a poor foul. They should have fouled earlier to try to extend this ball game. Look at this big block. Nepawe. He's in there for defensive purposes, and he did his job. Third personal foul going to be called there on Cody Clark. These are insurance free throws, especially the second one here from Yamazaki. This will make it a 3-possession ball game. And possibly no more timeout here. To be called by Coach Ono. No, he won't. 19 points in the contest here for Yamazaki. They're just going to play this one out. It's an upset, that's for sure, because the San NEOPHOENIX are playing at home, so they are the favored squad. But 3 turnovers here in the final minute and a half just did them in. And again, they can't get that inbound inside. Threading the needle there, and it's another turnover. Talk about a sputtering finish. 18 turnovers in total here for the NEOPHOENIX, only 9 turnovers for the Dragonflies. And that's going to be your final score. Game number 1 goes to Hiroshima, 77-70. And that small section of Dragonflies fans on their feet. We got a stunned crowd here at the Toyohashi City Gym. This is only game number 1. Game number 2 will come by exact same time tomorrow, 12 noon, Philippine time. But stick around, we're not done. We're going to hear from our winning coach, Kyle Milling, and some of the heroes for the squad of Hiroshima. Well, this squad will still live to fight another day, that's for sure. Which happens tomorrow. Well, for the San NEOPHOENIX, now they're praying that there's going to be a game on Monday. Game number 1 today. Game number 2 tomorrow, Sunday at 12 noon. And if there's a game number 3, that will be at 6 in the evening come Monday. That's what the fans of the San NEOPHOENIX are now hoping for. On the flip side, the Dragonflies want to end it tomorrow. They want to move on to the next round of the playoffs. This might be just a brief address by Coach Ono to the fans. He's definitely disappointed. They want to go back to the drawing board. They want to be able to start reviewing tape. But we will have an interview with our winning coach, Kyle Milling, in a bit.
はい、カエル・ビリングヘッドコーチお疲れ様でした。非常に激しいゲームでしたが、今日のゲームを振り返ってお願いします。
こんにちは、ありがとうございます。No, but Cyan's a great team. Game one of the playoffs, we were ready to play. They were ready to play too. And I think we used last year's experience to try to help us today, and we came out with a win.
はい、ありがとうございました。本当にサイエンスはもう素晴らしい、チームなのも分かっていましたし、本当に私たちも準備万端で、この戦いに臨めたのかなと思います。本当に先シーズンのこのやっぱり CS 出場という経験も、しっかりとこういった勝ちに生かされたんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
はい、前評判ではですね、サイエンの方がオフェンス能力が高く、広島の方がディフェンス能力が高いという評判がありました。その中でも攻守に激しいゲームだったと思います。どんな準備をしてこのゲームを迎えましたか？
We prepared like we did all year. The players really practice hard in practice. We try to, Cyan's a team who plays fast, we try to control the pace a little bit, but we didn't change too much. Just keep having confidence, keep playing hard, and keep defending.
いや本当に普段通りの練習をして、本当に普段通りの準備をしてきていました。本当にサイエンさんも分かっている通りで、本当に速いペースのバスケットボールを敷くので、意識的にはやっぱりペースのコントロールというのを意識はしていたんですけども、やっぱり全く私たちのやるべきことっていうのは全く変わらず、普段通り準備してここまでやってきました。
はい、今日もアリーナにはですね、広島ブースターの皆さん、そして画面の向こうでは多くのブースターの皆さんがゲームを見てくれてたと思います。明日のゲームに向けてブースターの皆さんにメッセージをお願いします。
来てくれてありがとう。今日 many Dragonflies. So 明日 we need your support お願いします。お願いします。And 皆さん、1、2、3、ガチじゃんけん Let's go!
ヘッドコーチありがとうございました。
A very ecstatic coach, Kyle Milling. As you can see, he has so much respect for the San NEOPHOENIX squad. But again, that's why I mentioned that they're a youthful squad. This is their first time to make it to the playoffs. Hiroshima were in the playoffs last year, and that's exactly what Coach Kyle said. Their experience from last year really helped them here. Can it get them over the hump? Can it get them past the San NEOPHOENIX? We'll find out tomorrow. Let's see, we might have an interview with Dwayne Evans, who was one of the great performers for today, or possibly Nick Mayo. No, we're going to give it to Ryo Yamazaki, who hit so many threes and he finished with 19 points.
激しいゲームを振り返ってお願いします。
はい、CS になるとどのチームも本当に激しさ、強度が上がりますし、その中でも自分たちが、3円3に5点を取らないように最初から、激しく戦えて最後までそれ40分間できたことが、今日の勝利につながったと思います。
はい、試合序盤からですね、終盤そしてゲームを決めるようなスリーポイントまで自身のパフォーマンス、非常にレベルが高いショット確率でね、沈めれたと思います。ご自身のパフォーマンスを振り返ってお願いします。
はい、他の、昨日から始まった他の試合とかも見ててもやっぱり本当にみんな、特にシューターと呼ばれる選手シュートを落とさないんで、僕もやっぱそういった、クオリティの高い内容をしなきゃいけないなというふうに思っていて、それが今日少しは、出せたんじゃないかなというふうに思います。
明日も決めてくれますか？
はい、もちろんです。
はい、そんな気持ちをですね、ゲーム2多くの今日もね広島ブースターの方々が来てくれてます。そして画面の向こうでもね多くの方々が応援してくれていると思います。ゲーム2に向けて意気込みをお願いします。
はい、本当に今日たくさんの、広島ファンの方に、お越しいただいて僕たち本当すごいパワーもらいましたし、明日しっかりもう一戦勝って、勝ち進んでまたどんどん、浅山さんの引退を伸ばしていけたらなと思いますんで、明日も、最後まで応援よろしくお願いします。
お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Nice quick interview there with Yamasaki, and he talked about the fact that all teams play hard here in the championship series, which is true. You actually have to go through the virtual eye of the needle to be able to make it here to the playoffs, or what they call in Japan, the championship. And he said, I watched some of the games yesterday, and it inspired me. And I wanted to be able to come up big for my squad, and he did come up big with his squad, scoring 19 points, hitting those open shots. And he's one of the heroes, together with names like Dwayne Evans and Nick Mayo, who came up big here in the fourth. And he also acknowledged the fans that they did travel here. He thanked them for cheering, and he hopes that they come away with a win tomorrow. Enjoy the highlights here before we show you the numbers. Very good start for the NEOPHOENIX. As Cody Clark hits from the wing. Evans with a floater. Dwayne Evans had 8 points in the first 10 minutes of play. But Sana NEOPHOENIX still led at the end of the period. They were led by Sasaki. Ora didn't really have his usual game today. NEOPHOENIX were up by 2 at the end of the first period, as we see 30 Ravenna there with his shot, finishing with the left. Kanemaru just with one solitary basket in the first half. That pass there was so reminiscent of what happened here, especially in the end game, especially late. 3 straight turnovers, 3 straight lackadaisical passes converted there. That's a much better pass from Sasaki, and Yante Matin converts. Hiroshima actually led by 7, 13-6 at one stage in the first period. But Matin, Ravenna, Ludzinski, and Cody Clark came up big. Not to mention Sasaki, hitting that 3 there. There was another interception. Counter steal. And they find Matin inside for the easy deuce. Hitting from the outside there, you saw Nakamura. At the halftime break, it was still Sanan with the lead at 41-38. Clark will get the basket there. Clark really came alive in the second half. Nice putback. As you see, Nakamura was always at the right place at the right time. Starting to heat up there. And heat up late was Kanemaru. That one initially given us a 3, eventually changed to a long 2, as you saw him standing there in the line. 30 Ravenna trying to stop Evans, but Evans just kept straight to the basket. After 3 periods, it was a 5-point lead though for the NEOPHOENIX at 59-54. So things were looking good. Actually, the NEOPHOENIX won every quarter. Talking about the first 3. They won the first quarter 23-21. They won the second quarter by 1, 18-17, and then they won the third period 18-16. But in the quarter that matters most, they lost that one 23-11. That's huge. That's a big 12-point swing. So they were up by 5 heading into the 7th. Heading into the 4th, and then lose by 7. And here's Nick Mayo, starting to go to work. He was actually fresh. Because if you look at this, he only played 23 minutes. Usually plays close to 30. That was a dagger. That's one of the main reasons why we interviewed Yamazaki. He came up with insurance baskets. As we look at the numbers, collectively, field goal shooting, Sanen shot better, 41% as compared to 38% for the Dragonflies. But as we break it down, you can see from 2-point distance, 53% as compared to 45%. Though, if you look at it, making more field goals, 22 as compared to 15, were the visiting squad. That was a big difference there. But again, you have to point at the turnovers. 17 turnovers to just 9 for Hiroshima. That was big. 10 and 20. Those are the points off turnovers. And again, they really took advantage of all the live turnovers coming from the NEOPHOENIX. Rebounding, +7 in favor of Hiroshima. In the assist though, look at this, 20 assists as compared to just 10. Sanen +10 there, but still not enough to stem the tide. As we see our key player matchup, Evans would finish with 22. Cody Clark would finish with 15 points. You see the rest of the numbers there. The rebounds and the dimes. But these personal stats don't mean anything to these players. They want the victory. And it's Hiroshima coming away with a W here this afternoon. As we check out the leading scorers for the victors, 22 points for Evans, 19 points for Yamazaki, and 10 points for Kerry Blackshear. In a losing effort, Yante Matin would have 17, 15 for Cody Clark, and 11 for Ryosei Sasaki. Rebounding story, 7 boards for Kawata. That's also Silid Sinepawe. 7 also for Blackshear and 5 for Yamazaki. 8 there for Dudzinski. 7 for Matin. And 6 for 30 Ravenna. There you have the scoring leaders we talked about earlier. That, of course, for the NEOPHOENIX in a losing cause. And there you have on your screens the scoring leaders which we discussed for the winning squad. Imposing 22 points from Dwayne Evans. As you got the assists, 7 assists for Sotaora, 4 for Sasaki, and 3 for Clark. And for the victors, 3 apiece for Mayo, Evans, and Nakamura. So there you have the leaders in points, leaders in rebounds, and then the leaders in assists. So here in game number 1, the Hiroshima Dragonflies take it in a minor upset over the favored San NEOPHOENIX, and they win it by 7, 77-70. Don't forget to join us for more action tomorrow at 12 noon as these two squads face each other once again in game number 2. That's going to do it here for our coverage. Thanks so much for joining us. Till next time, take care. Have a good afternoon ahead. God bless.